So this is my long-termer, the TT RS. What differentiates this car really from the rest of the TT range is what's under the bonnet here. 2.5 litre 5-cylinder turbocharged engine, which puts out around 335 brake horsepower. Well, that's what Audi would tell you. It actually feels a lot fitter than that. It feels like it's got more. It's a terrific engine, but it's certainly controversial, this car, mainly because it comes in at around £50,000 once you put a few extras on it, which a lot of people think is too much for a TT. So I've had it for a couple of months now, and in that time it's done 6,000 miles. Basically it's barely stood still, and that's because anybody who drives it comes back raving about it. And it's not something that you would perhaps think would be on the top of our hit list, but it's certainly becoming that. The engine really is the heart of this car. It's not just the performance and the figures, it's just the way it delivers it. It sounds absolutely superb, but also it's ready to go wherever you are in the rev range. It just doesn't make any difference to it. 2,000 RPM, all the way up to 6,000, stick your foot down and you're away. I mean, the way it gathers speed is incredible, really. We had it last week in Germany on the Autobahns, and where you can really let rip, and we had it up to, well, what it showed on the speedo, 171 miles an hour. Turns out on the GPS that's 168, and that's mighty impressive for something like this. Other than the RS badging on the brake calipers, the only real visual clue that this is the RS model is that rear wing. Again, this is another area of controversy. Some people say it spoils the lines of the car, other people say it gives it that little bit more aggression. So where do I view it? Well, I'm sitting on the fence. So we've heard a lot about the engine. What about the ride and handling? Well, it's fairly stiffly set up and it's effective in terms of handling rather than dynamic in a way like, you know, the M3, something like that. But it's got a huge amount of grip. It's almost as if it just wants you to get through the corner so you can get back on the power again. We had it at Silverstone for one of our track days when it was raining, pretty much like it is now. And it was able to drive around just about everything else that was on the track. So brilliant amount of fun, and it just meant that you could get on the power nice and early and just hear that engine singing. So as you can probably tell, I'm very pleased to be looking after this TT RS, and the really good news is that I'll be keeping it until the end of the year. But it's not the only TT that I'm running around in. Of course, there's the project car, which you may not have heard too much about over the last few months, but it's still with us and we've got big plans for it, so keep a lookout for those.